take a quick look, and if you guessed that we're going to be making Southern style candied yams, cooking with Tammy style, then guess what? You've guessed correctly. Alright, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious candied yam recipe 2 different ways. Alright, we're going to be baking it traditionally in the oven, of course, and I'm also going to show you how to cook your candied yams on the stove top as well. And I got some secret ingredients that's going to really make these candied yams stand out. So without further ado, let's introduce our, you know what, we're not going to introduce nothing. What we're going to do is we're just going to cook, and as we're cooking and prepping, we're going to talk about the ingredients. I'm going to cut these potatoes about 1 inch thick. Alright, make sure the knife is really, really sharp. Once we're done, we're going to cut it in the middle. And we're going to cut it once again. We're going to quarter these potatoes, alright? We're going to cut it in 4s. Usually I cut my potatoes in a circle or somewhat of like a half moon. Just basically cut it in half like this. But you know what? I was like, this season I want to do something a little different. I want to actually cube it up. Alright, and we are done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these potatoes on over to the kitchen sink, and we're going to rinse them off because we got to wash everything before we get busy eating. Alright, so I'm going to wash these potatoes and I'm going to come right back. Our pan is nice and hot, so I'm going to go ahead and add our butter. Allow that butter to become nice and melted. I hear so much controversy about whether or not if stovetop candied yams is better than oven baked candied yams. And guess what? We're about to find out. My whole thing is this. I want to find out if there's even any difference. I kind of feel like there is, because I feel like for some reason if you place it in the oven, it's going to have more of a caramelized, deep, rich flavor. I could be wrong because, as you can tell, right, by the way that I'm talking, I've never had candied yams on the stovetop. It has always been done in the oven. Alright, so I'm curious to find out myself. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and add our brown sugar. This is light brown sugar. Break that down. We're also going to add our white granulated sugar as well. We're just going to combine it with the butter. A question that I get every year is, why did my syrup caramelize? And I could tell you it's because 10 out of 10, your pan was too hot. So instead of like slowly melting the sugar, it was just too hot. The temperature was too hot, so it caramelized and got real crazy in the pan. Right now I'm cooking on medium heat, and I'm going to allow the sugar to break down. I'm going to go ahead and add some more butter. We're going to go ahead and add our nutmeg. Stir that one in as well. We're going to also add our ground cinnamon and our vanilla extract. Looking and smelling so good so far. Gonna also add some freshly squeezed orange juice. Don't worry, no seeds fell inside the pan. Luckily, right? The orange is gonna give it a nice citrus flavor. And for my weapon of choice, ginger. I know you're like, what? We're breaking all traditions around here, right? I'm the only girl in the world that uses ginger in her candied yams, but guess what? It's so worth it. In my last video, a couple of years back, I introduced the whole ginger thing to candied yams, and trust me, everybody compliments it every single time. Rave reviews, alright? So if you're not using ginger for your candied yams, I don't know what you're waiting for. But you better get to grating. It makes the ultimate difference. People, they're like, oh, I don't like ginger. I'm not a ginger person. Well, you better be a ginger person today, because it's going to be so worth it. I can promise you that. Alright? Grate a couple teaspoons of ginger into your mix and stir it on in. Turn the stovetop off, and this is the result of our sugar. It smells absolutely divine. All right, we're gonna pour our candy syrup onto our yams, aka sweet potato, whatever you want to refer to it as. I know we could all agree that it's just pure goodness. Mix it up just a little bit, try to get in there and coat the yams with the sugar, of course. Everything's perfectly coated. We're gonna cover it down with aluminum foil, place it into our 350-degree oven for about 1 hour. All right, now here's the thing. After 30 minutes, we're gonna flip our potatoes over onto the other side and allow it to bake for another 30 minutes for a total of 1 hour. Now that our candied yams are in the oven, it's time for us to move on over to the stovetop. Let's add our butter to the pot. Allow that to melt down before we add anything else. All right, let's add our light brown sugar. See how the sugar broke down really easily? No time to caramelize, right? Because we have more than enough butter in the pot. Let's add our white sugar. Minus the bowl, of course. Stir that on up as well. Use the back of the spatula, smash it on out. Gonna go ahead and add our ground cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla extract. All right, make sure that flame is on low to medium heat. I'm gonna go ahead and add a good squeeze of our fresh orange juice. Followed by our grated ginger. And I'm going to add a pinch of salt to balance out the flavors. Just a small pinch. You find that when making most desserts, in order to create that balance, once you add sugar, you follow up with a little pinch of salt. And believe you me, that makes the ultimate difference. Now, if you can't have salt, that's another situation. Don't even go there. Don't even bother adding the salt. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add our potatoes. Allow our syrup to coat the potatoes, of course. Everything is perfectly coated. We're going to go ahead and cover our pot down with a lid. And we're going to allow these yams to soften up just a bit. We want them to be fork tender. You know how you want your yams to be. I don't even have to explain that. Anyway, I'm going to continue cooking on medium heat. I'm going to check on it periodically. This is what our candied yams look like after 20 minutes on the stovetop. To be honest with you, they're fork tender and they are done. You hear me? Oh, it smells so good in here right now. Check it out. Look at that. Gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to serve these candied yams on up. The yams in the oven, they have about another, I want to say another 30 to 40 minutes to go. But is it going to be well worth it in comparison? Let's see. For the moment of truth, all right, we have our stovetop candied yams, and we also have our baked candied yams. And I'll be honest with you, we almost didn't have a video because the fam went ham on the yams. Yes. Anyway, let me show you what we have so far. These are our stovetop yams. Check it out. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and plate it in the bowl. Wow, this is good stuff. You know what? I'm going to make it fit. Yes, I am. Presentation is everything. All right. Once we're done, we're going to go in with our beautiful syrup. And we're just going to pour it over the top, just like that. Ooh, baby. For our second set of yams, let's plate it out. Candied yams in the oven, all right? This is the only way that I've tried it. Let's see. Am I going to have a change of mind? Am I going to prefer stovetop yams over the candied yams? We're about to find out. Alright. Get it in there. Some of our beautiful syrup. Yes. It's going a little bit more because I'm extra. Okay. First, I'm going to do the stovetop since I've never had it. Wow. Right. Oven baked. Alright, here's the thing. Honest truth. Both absolutely delicious, okay? They're so good. So good. But I'm going to have to go with my oven baked yams simply because when it comes to the oven baked yams, because it's baked in the oven, it has that, and as we all know, yams has its natural sugars, right? You could taste the natural sugars along with the combination of other ingredients that's added, which gives it a rich, in-depth flavor. However, if you are pressed for time, not saying that the stovetop yams is not out of this world delicious. If you're pressed for time, rock out with stovetop yams. It's going to be delicious regardless. Either recipe. But if you're looking for that rich, in-depth flavor, definitely go with the oven baked yams. Yeah, an hour in the oven, 30 minutes on each side, 20 minutes on the stovetop, 20 to 30 minutes until fork tender. Press for time, rock out with this exact recipe. It's executed the same way that I showed you, using the orange, the ginger, and tons of vanilla extract. That makes the ultimate difference. As always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.